he does his business. This man does a plethora of different things. He is, to me, an innovator, a transformative spiritual being, a reader. He's just so many different things. So thank you for coming on the Streamathon. We are excited to have you and listen to all the stuff that you got to say.
Awesome.
All right. So can tell everyone who you are and, all the things that you're doing and so on and so forth. And I'll ask you questions along the way.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the thoughts of getting me on here. Very exciting. This is probably my second time ever, doing something like this. The first time I want to call it interviewed because that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
And the first time that I did this was about 3 or 4 years ago, when I was extremely challenged in my business. I was extremely overweight. I was about 265 pounds. I was just giving up in many areas of my life. And a guy that came into my life who I've been following on social media for about 6 years prior to that day had invited me on a transformative journey across the country to Denver, Colorado, and it just changed my life. Him and I have very many things in common when it comes to our trade, what it is that we do for work, and so, anyways, the point with that is that that was the first time that I had been interviewed on like this. So at that point in time, I was very nervous, and for some reason, I'm very relaxed right now, and I'm excited about the next
because it's me. No.
Yes, yes, because it still is, and I do actually feel very comfortable speaking to you, especially whether it be in person and or on video, and I'm excited for this interview. So, a little bit about me. So the long story short, well, what I do is I help homeowners, residential homeowners, design multi-functioning outdoor living spaces. So what that means is that if you're a homeowner and you have some equity in your home and or you have a substantial amount of income you can dispense for your backyard or just your overall landscape to enhance it and make it look better, you can essentially work with me. And what I do is I have a very unique approach that many contractors don't have, where we just explore a variety of different questions through a phone call discussion, an online questionnaire, schedule an on-site meeting, and we just essentially discover what it is that you're looking for, what you truly need, and we figure out what that cost is going to be. And if our estimated cost is right in line with the investment that you're looking to put into your backyard, we go ahead and work with you collaboratively to design the space through a 3D rendering process, of which we then go through the phases of revising that design and then finalizing that design to meet that budget. And then we execute the installation process of that specific job. Mind you, a lot of the work that we do, we're focused on is outdoor living design and build. So it can be anything from, an extravagant outdoor living space with a pool, a hot tub, all that fun stuff, to a very small walkway, in your front yard going to your driveway. So it doesn't matter the scale of the project. If it's a small job, they don't require designing. If it's a large, substantially large project, then of course we would go through an extensive process. So that's pretty much what I do. And I've been doing that since 2009, and it's now 2024. And I've been in business since 2016. So yeah, that's what I do.
Good stuff. So what prompted this creation to take place? Was there like an experience you've been through, or this was something that was in the works for a while? Like, what was that experience like for you?
So if I'm understanding correctly, you're asking how did I evolve into becoming or essentially doing what I do now?
Yeah.
So basically, back in 2009, the long story short is I started in 2009 as a landscaper, mowing lawns, weeding beds, and adding mulch to garden beds. Mind you, prior to that point in my life, I was 21, and I basically I didn't really work. I just I was kind of lost, until I met my wife, of course, and then things kind of just revamped. My vision, I refocused. So I started doing that, and then I realized that there were contractors out there installing walkways and pavers. And I said to my boss, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I don't want to pull weeds. I don't want to install mulch." So we created a division within the company. Mind you, I didn't know that he had a background of outdoor living design. So
Wow.
he had a table that was 4 feet wide, a drafting table that was like 6 feet long. And I would see him design these spaces on graph paper. He would use engineering rulers, all kinds of cool, tools. And I would just watch him, and I was inspired by that work that he would put in, bring to life a design for a homeowner. And that's how it all began back in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how has this business transformed you on a personal level?
How has this business transformed? Oh, wow. So it's transformed me substantially, and I mean, insanely a lot, because so first off, when I first started, mind you, I was getting paid cash, right? Under the table, I'm just a 21-year-old kid, but with the vision that I want to make money on the books. I want to get, build my credit. I want to, invest in all these things. Fast forward 4 years. For 4 years, I invested so much into a company, but at the same time, the company didn't invest back into me. And so, but I had this negative mindset. It wasn't the company; it was the owner. He never invested back into me or his employees, and he always would 1099 us at the end of the year. And I learned that I wasn't a subcontractor; I was an employee. So each year, when we were 1099, basically we would have to pay that money back to the IRS, and my wife's income taxes would get garnished because of the money that I owed. So I didn't make enough money to pay back the money that I made. And we didn't know how to navigate that. So long story short, he basically did that for so many years until the point where I had to leave. So the way that it changed me in one way or another was how I treat my employees, right? Let's kind of keep it from a business standpoint. It transformed me into understanding that those who work within my organization should be taken care of, meaning these individuals are coming to your business to do something for your company and for other homeowners with a passion. There's a lot of these guys are either doing this because it's the only thing they know how to do, so they just do it. But a lot of these guys actually do these things with a passion. I mean, we used to mow lawns and put stripes on lawns up in the Northeast and passionately do that. So if someone does that with so much passion, you should take care of them. You should put them on payroll. And so I have a lot of compassion for anyone that works for me, and I ensure that they get well compensated, and just ensure that they evolve and grow with the company. So when it comes to just being a more compassionate person towards other individuals. So in a way, it brought that side of me out.
That's awesome that you were able to kind of like have that perspective and insight throughout the course of your years working with other people and seeing how the owner of the companies were and how that affected you in that way for you to actually have a different perspective of how you want people to be treated within your organization. So that's a great thing to have.
I love it. I'm sorry. No, I'm so inspired and impressed that you get it. That you're exactly what you said. The employees are helping you with your business. So of course you need to respect them, and that's so smart. So smart. So congratulations. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Joanne. You'll meet her soon.
Yeah. And where is Miguel again?
Miguel, he's wait, are you in Pooler or in Pooler?
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in Savannah. Hey.
Hi, Sherky. Good to see you. You too. Everybody's passing by. So what is the question that I have for you two is what's the most memorable compliment or review that you've received from a client?
I know, right?
Interesting. So I've had many. Let me hit you with the negative one. So
you got a negative one?
It's actually not negative, it's positive. So it's interesting. I was hired for a landscape project. Well, not a landscape project. A tree, probably the diameter of a 2-foot diameter, fell on the gentleman's house. Went right through his house. He was claiming insurance. I came in. I told him, hey, I can't take the tree out of the house, but I can clean everything else up. And he did access, I can cut, and I can remove and clean up your landscape. Boom. So that verbiage was not included in the contract. I assumed that this gentleman would be a guy of integrity and of good character and good morals, and he would, okay, cool, sounds good, Miguel, I love it. I put together the contract. I forgot to add that section. I did the entire job, and this guy did not pay me one dime. He gave me a deposit of $200 on an $1,800 job and didn't pay me the rest of my money, and basically gave me a very negative review. He said that I was a kind person. However, I was a horrible businessman and did not stick to my word to complete the job. And those are things that and so mind you, from that moment on was when I realized that for every interaction that I have and every negative aspect of an interaction that I have and every positive, however it benefits the client or however it benefits me or however it's a negative experience for the client or a negative experience for me, I learned to take all of this information and figure out how I can verbalize into contracts to set some level of expectations and accountability, not only for my company, but also for the homeowners. And so I've been able to, over the years, since I started in 2016, develop a contract that's so extensive that it literally covers 10 pages. And so, yeah, I've used ChatGPT, and I've definitely read, a substantial amount of information related to what we can and cannot add into contracts so that I can structure it, but also so that I can set the right expectations with homeowners, not only verbally, but also on terms and conditions so that they can never do these things to me. So I've only had one negative experience, and it was that one since 2016. Now, with that said, 3 years ago, I ended up, I was running a company by the name of Savannah Landscapes and Designs. Long story short, that company started in 2020 when we first moved here during COVID, and it did horrible. For the first 6 months, we did okay. We were generating jobs. I had some revenue coming in. However, employee retention was the most difficult thing I've ever faced in my days of business when I first moved here. And I believe that COVID contributed to that because people were collecting a lot of money here and there, and people just didn't want to work. So fast forward 3 years, I ended up working with a gentleman by the name of Brian. He's a great business owner, a very great mentor, amazing coach, and we're really good friends. And when he hired me for the job, it was a $35,000 project. I lost all my employees. They all quit little by little on me. And I weighed 265 pounds. I was falling back into drinking beers at the end of each day to suppress my feelings. And I still, in my mind, I wanted to quit the job. I wanted to just come up with excuses and tell him, hey, you know what, take him to court. I can't finish your job. But because I'm a person of integrity and I love what I do, but I need to deliver to my client what I said that I was going to, I follow through. And day in, day out for 60 days, I showed up. And for those 60 days, I worked however many hours I could on that job site until I completed it. And the best compliment that came from that job, from that client, is that he calls me one of his good friends. And so, I mean, you know what I mean? There's more to what he would compliment or say about me as a person that I just won't get into it. But the point is that I stuck it through back in 3 years ago through that job, and I completed it. And I'm being very vulnerable and honest. I almost quit on that gentleman on that contract, and I'm happy that I didn't, because it's not the person that I am. So, I finished the job, I rebranded my company, and here we are with Coastal Hardscapes moving forward, steady incline and thriving.
That is awesome. And thank you so much for your vulnerability and for sharing, because normally when I ask people, like, what was the most memorable compliment, they'll give me a good one or something. But the fact that you gave me something that was negative that turned into a positive, and something that, you were going to give up on, but you didn't, I feel like that's like the most inspirational thing I've ever heard on my streamathon. So thank you for that. For sure. You're welcome. Sure. So thank you so much for coming on the streamathon. I appreciate it. All of your information is on the scrolling banner across, so everyone knows who you are. And it's pretty much being streamed on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So it's giving you a wider range of people who may want to connect with you and work with you in the near future, and so on and so forth. So it's good to have you on here. I'm so happy that we're able to connect in this way, and definitely will send you the recorded segment so you can utilize it on your website as a way for people to get to know who you are personally as well as professionally, and to hear the passion about what you do about your business is amazing.
Of course. And I'd be happy to come back on board. Just send me some more information. We'll do another segment. And, we'll continue to do this and keep touching base in other areas as well.
Yeah, sure.
I'm happy to support what you're doing. I think it's genius. It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Very beneficial for everyone involved. So
yes, it's a win-win. I said that it's such a win-win. I love doing it, meeting other people that are entrepreneurs and business owners, and hearing the passion about what they do. And it gives my audience an opportunity to get to know you as well, because you never know who may be a client. Like I said, I had 2 people that was on my last one, and both of them are working together because one of them makes candles and the other one wants to add candles to her business. So it was a win-win situation. So you never know who you could meet, and you never know who you can connect with.
Right. So we service anywhere in the South, anywhere in Florida, Miami, up to here, the South coastal area, all the way up to North Carolina, Charleston. Anything related to extravagant out there living, design, and build, we'll do it. So
all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm glad that you put that plug in. So we'll talk soon, Miguel. Take care. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. So that was Miguel Pinto, guys. He is the last person on the Streamathon.